Hello comrades, I'm Colonel Failure and you're back with Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Now some of you may have been expecting some kind of radio broadcast at the start of today's episode, but it's not actually suited to what we're doing today. Now as you can see, the game has updated to a new version because it's doing some kind of bloom-based occlusion-y fuzziness, which is rather exciting. I'll review this over the course of course you can't see it now because it's dark. Yeah. Anyway, I'll review this, and if it doesn't look great, I'll have a fiddle with the options before the next episode. Anyway, we were going to kick off with a radio announcement today, but I've put it back because it's not wholly suited to what we're working on. Instead, we are here at Dozersk, at the coal mine in Dozersk, and as you can see, we've got our coal processing plant down the bottom of the hill at somewhere that has decided to call itself Pahodad has. I don't know what Pahodad has, but it has it. Yes. Anyway, we've flattened out quite a bit, and when the sun rises, I'm going to run a road down the hill, and that might take the entire episode because we all know how easy that isn't. So my overall plan for this particular area is to build a little kind of micro town up here. Probably with, I don't know, let's say 500, 600 population. It'll have a pub, it'll have a shop, it'll probably have a football field, given that we put them everywhere. And then down at the bottom end of the hill, we will have a slightly larger town with several thousand people. Well, let's not get carried away. Let's say 1,000 people living there, in order to make sure that the processing plant here is equally well staffed. The upshot should be that we bring in an absolute pile of coal. I was looking for anything that was a slightly larger descriptor than that, but that's the best I could do on short notice. Now the other thing that I might need to do is put in some interstitial kind of high capacity belt storage motivation kind of deal, because one of the things I've noticed historically is that different buildings have different rates of output. So the truck loading bay, for example, is significantly faster at loading trucks than the factory itself, no matter what the factory's kind of internal storage is looking like. So we'll get to that, but before we can do any of that business, we've got to get down the hill. Why have we got to get down the hill? Well, for reasons, but the main of which is going to be that there will need to be some interconnection between the two of them. Let's see what we get here. So if I were to just give it a bit of that, too big a descent. Yeah. So we might need to do some kind of windy business here. Show wireframe. Nah, that's all right. I don't need to. No, see, the reason I don't like showing wireframe is quite straightforward. Is that wireframes are ugly. And I would rather go by eye to see where we get. So if we were to run the road that way and then maybe zag across the other way. The only thing is that the roads in this Republic Soviet are disinclined. Go on, I am flattening. There you go. They're disinclined to actually do the job for me. What? To pull right angles is what I'm talking about. I want to now auto build that. How can I tell that to now just finish itself? What have I missed here? I've missed something. Something has been missed. You used to be able to click on this. I'm sure you used to be able to click on this and just build it. Build this now. Go. No? Okay. Well, all right then. That appears to have done the trick. It wasn't what I was expecting to happen. Right. Okay. Right. See, look, too sharp a turn. It really isn't too sharp a turn, my friend. It's genuinely, it's not too sharp a turn at all. Do that, and then what if we were to come off at a right angle? Oh, hello. Oh, I see it. It'll do it if I go further afield. All right, okay. Well, I'll go further afield then. Right, hold right button to flatten the terrain. Bring out the goons. I mean, that's rather flatter than I want. Although, you know, it seems to be allowing me now to just swerve violently over to one side. There you go. So you could do that. That's good. Right, and then if we click this, apparently, there you are. Great. Okay, good. Well, this is going to be something. Obviously, if anybody misses the signal junction there, they're just going to go flying off the edge of what is a not insignificant kind of slopey kind of cliff edge kind of a thing. It's not too steep, and you know it. Hold the right button to flatten the terrain. Look at that. Yeah, and of course I'm not actually paying for any of that because I've got the necessary staff nearby to make that happen. Do that and then build the thing. Turn that back off. Okay, now you're talking. So I'll hook up the two with a bit of bus route action, and that should look fine. Now I want to try something. Let's do that. Right, now, at the moment, I haven't paid for that, so if I were to then get rid of it, great. Okay, so we can plumb in a prospective kind of road setup, and then decide for ourselves if that's what we're after when we've done it. So if I do this, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to be able to do this with parallel roads. I think eyeballing it is probably going to be the only way to get that done. So that's that one. Now, what if I were to now click on something else? Presumably, would I be able to get back to this to build it? Well, I don't know. Let's try it. Bring that back up again, and then auto build. Yeah. Go on, Ed. Build. Okay. Right. Cool. Yeah, no, that's done it. Right, okay, yep, got it. Right, I figured that out. I mean, don't get me wrong, shouldn't have taken that long for me to figure it out, but it did. But we have now figured it out. Now, so I'm going to need a coal loading rail train business situation. So it's going to look like this. Now, does the coal processing plant have anything of that kind? Side note. You've got it. You've got your belts there, right next to that nice piece of road you just built. I have, haven't I? Yes, you have. So you're going to want something that does this. Now we can probably move the conveyor belt later if we need to, as long as those belts will connect to that station. Are you sure that's what you want to do? Because this is not cheap. Right, well, hold on. Maybe we can do a bit of belt kind of test case. Can't build bridge pillars. No, because there's a road underneath. It's rather unfortunate. Must go directly. Yeah. Okay, well, look. First attempt cost me now, so let's get a shot of it. Yep, off you go. I'm pretty sure that cost me nothing. What if... conveyor engine transfer. That might be an idea. Where's the in? So we only get one in. But that might get across the bridge a little bit, the road a bit better. So if we keep an eye on our ruble balance, which is currently at 610, pushing 611. So if we stick that in there, all right, and then we try and convey up, the money's still going up. Right, it will quite happily do that. Okay, and then what? Stick the station next door to it. It feels convoluted, and there'll be a reason that it feels convoluted, and that's probably because it is convoluted. Anyway, to look at the broader kind of picture, we're going to export coal to Zazhalis. Initially, we'll process it up. We'll zip it over the line there towards our chums in the I'm going to say east, but it could be anywhere. And then later on, we'll train that coal back down towards Failuregrad, or rather, we'll train it towards where the new power plant town is going to be. Because the one in Failuregrad, as much as it was pretty expensive to set up, we'll be making so much money by that point we just won't care. So we'll get it done that way. Right, give me a train aggregate loading setup. Train aggregate loading. Right. Now, again, I can't help but, try and point out to you here that you are running pretty fast and flipping loose with regard to the amount of space you've got, because I don't know if you can see it or not from here, but you've got a road that's coming down the mountain. I did coming down the mountain when she comes a couple of episodes ago in Transport Fever, I believe, so I'm not going to do that again today. I'm not even going to reference it. So this is what we in the trade call a really terrible position for this train station. Yeah, well, maybe I'll move the road. It wasn't that expensive. Really? You could have thought this through before building any of this business, right? You aren't obliged to go with plan A all the time. You can negotiate different plans anytime you please. Right, let's try. This really isn't going to like it. No, because you've done a bunch of flattening there. Well, that's okay. Auto build is off. Good. Right, build from here. Go on, fellas. Smooth it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All that time I spent griping about the levelling tool not being fit for purpose. Well, here it is. Very much fit for purpose. It's actually levelling the terrain rather than aggregating the level according to all the various different pinpoints. Oh, what use is that? Tell you what, if I was developing this, I'd have some telemetry in the game to see how many people were using the new version versus the old one, and then go, okay, well, we've got the new version now, so I guess they're happy and they can shut up. Right, good. There you are. Look, that's in. Now, if we carry on down the hill, it goes, I believe you're having a laugh. All right, mate. Well, we'll go from here and level it up some more. Interestingly enough, if you put high-speed game progression on, so you up it to the super fast there, it levels out faster. and actually, I quite like that because I mean that's clearly in reference to the number of bulldozers you have and excavators and whatnot actually having to do the work, which is kind of cool. Right, you down here. No, you come on, you'll do it. I'm certain you'll do it. Look, it's not that taxing a build that I've got for you. Come on, just ease that up. It doesn't need to be eased up by very much. Yeah. I'm going to leave this long bit in here that we've already built, purely because we already built it, and therefore we've got some modicum of success going on in there. Oh, flipping heck. Come on, lads. We've got nowhere else to be here, and people love when I do flattening for an entire episode. They find it to be fulfilling. Hold on, we've got a flatten option. There you go. Flatten it some more until you quit complaining. Yeah. Take it. No, wait, didn't take it. Flatten. Just don't flatten it too much. Otherwise, we'll end up with just flat terrain. What I want is an angle of attack that the workforce are happy to build further roads from. So if we drag that down that way a bit, I don't know. Too big a descent and downhill and whatnot. Show me the wireframe. Okay, right. So all of this red business here, that's no dice there. So we want to ease that up. Ease her up. Come on, that's it. Yeah, keep it coming. Keep it coming. I mean, that's more or less flat now. But what we don't want to do is completely level it. Otherwise we won't be able to connect a road to it. There you go. That's it. Yeah, keep coming. Flatten that sucker and. All right, okay, put it in. Come on. There you go. Right, have a bit more. We'll get there eventually, and it'll be well worth our time to do so, having done so when we do so. Because we'll have done so, and therefore everything. Right, come on. We haven't got all day for this. I'll tell you what, I'll skip to the point where I've done this, and then you can rejoin the action. Well, I didn't say it was going to be attractive. It is somewhat lumpen. However, as the natural foliage regrows, it will surely improve its. Oh, look at that! Now, I wonder, just because I'm in that kind of mood, if we were to do this, yeah, then you can see we can get rid of some of this plateauing that we've got going on. So there you go. The I stand corrected. The existing leveling tool, for as weird and unuseful as it generally is, can actually be used just to even out a plateaued cliffside dive into oblivion. Right, and so we've got our train line here, and the plan that I'm going to do with that is we'll tunnel through there with the tracks to head out where we need it to go. All right. But, right, first we'll get it built. Construction has stopped. Oh, no. It's going to cost me 81,000 rubes or $163,000. Well, I don't use dollars as much, so I'll pay for that with dollars. And then, what about this little conveyor Johnny here? Let's go for getting that built as well. There you go. And then we can put conveyors in. Actually, what I didn't measure is whether the conveyors from here would actually reach the train station, which is possibly a bit of an oversight. But I'm going to assume that that's going to work just fine. Oh, yeah. Right. Build that. That's dead handy, you know. I don't know if that's an intended consequence or not, but whatever it is, it's very useful. There you go. Perfect. Now, just for my own edification, can we... no, we can't. Okay, then. We won't, then. Get it built. There we are. Right. So, we now have... Cool. Massive progress in that we've got a train station and a coal plant, and we've got a road that connects it all up. Now, the other thing that I noticed, and it could just be that I'm slow on the uptake, it wouldn't be the first time, is that the wireframe here would actually serve quite nicely as a grid to align your constructions to. Yeah, I know, I might just be slow. I did say I might just be slow, but hold on, is that... No, see, look, if you look at it this way... We're looking at the road, okay? So if we look at it this way, it shifts by like half a square over that way. But then when you turn it around this way, that might have just been an optical something or other. There. Yeah, you see that because it's not completely flat. Never mind, I'm just talking to myself, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to use that from here on in. So this is not completely straight. We'll deal with it. But from here on, we will endeavour to snap to grid. Max the size on that, would you, fellas? There you go. That's it. Come on. You know, I've got the wireframe turned on. There's no escape for you now. We're going to flatten this lot out because I'm about to build quite a lot of. I'm about to put my rubles into a rinsing machine, that's for sure. Now, the only thing that I do need to be wary of is running out of money before I've completed my train route. Because once I've got the train route, then we've got a period where we'll make enough cash to reinvest in superior things later on. Now, I could do it on the cheap and just use trucks. But I don't want to just use trucks. I want to use trains, because trains are better than trucks. Yeah, I know. Take that, squirrel. Okay, there we go. That will... and that should... I could do this all day, you know. And I don't think that's news to any of you. Right, okay, that's enough. Turn the wireframe off. It just makes you sad. And then what are we going to do? Turn the wireframe back on. We're going to go for the good stuff. Yeah, turn the wireframe back on. So I think with the rest of it, we will follow the grid, even though that means that this particular road is a little bit off centre. Just cause. And we'll run that down. See, look at that. See, snap it all. Look, as you go up here, everything looks peachy. and then you follow it down, and then if you look towards the top of the screen there, you'll see that the grid seems to have lost its structural coherence to some degree. That's not ideal, but you go back and it's all fine. So, all right, there you go. That was the aforementioned optical illusion that I was referencing. Now, that one doesn't want to sit entirely within a square, but we can at least keep it somewhat in parallel with the edges of that square, or could do if the tooltip wasn't in the way. That said, the tooltip was probably not aware that one might be attempting to do this at some point, and therefore the tooltip cares not. Right, yeah, we'll make that a crossroads, because you would. And then, how does that look? That's about right. I'm still eyeballing it, so it's going to be a little bit rough and ready in places, but having, actual blocks laid out in a block-like fashion, I can only see as a genuinely as a positive thing. Yeah, keep it going this way. Stay inside the square, like that. Now remember, if you're paying the cash money price for this, you are going to need enough to do up top as well. Valid. Well, yes, it is valid. Right, yeah, you do that, and then get onto there. Good. All right, that's that bit done. So in the first instance, what I'll do is I'll just go, I'll go mad, plumbing in tower blocks all over the shop and a shop all over the shop. Now, the funnier line there was the shop all over the tower block, you see. But you've blown that now, so shut up and keep building. Right, bit of this one and some of that onto there. Yeah, put that on there. Why not? Anything else that has a little, hello, I'm a road going about it? Not at the moment. Although doing that would be nice. Yeah, but you see, I've built this. You have, haven't you? Aren't you clever? Don't do that. All right, get rid of this. Yeah. Yep. And instead do this from about there. Okay. No. Don't you city skylines force snap me to some point that I'm not interested in. Oh, you peasant. Let's try it again. And no, it's not straight. I want straight-ish. There you go. That's straight-ish. And it's a little bit further away from the plant than I'd intended, but that's good enough. Right, get that lot built. Do it with the dollars. There you go. Now, what's that going to leave me in my dollar bank account there? I'm guessing not a huge amount. No, I'm guessing we're out of dollars. Okay, all right. So we may have to wait for a minute or two for that to be finished. But hey, at least I didn't murder my ruble balance. Right, now then, we'll go up the top of the hill and we'll get this semi-organised as well. Let's line it up to the old grid here, and remember, housing, lots of it. Because the big shortcoming that my existing mining setup has got is there isn't enough of it, and for those of you going, oh look, you're sat on some 20% thing. It doesn't really matter that I'm sat on some 20% thing. We're still not kicking out enough, and that's down to the number of workers. We're at 40% seam now. I mean that's pure luxury by comparison. Would it not make sense? Yes, it would make sense. Okay, fine. What would make sense, friends, is if I were to now put a residential building in here. And yes, we are using one design all the time, exclusively. I said this in like the first episode. As much as there are myriad designs. Oh, hello, hold on. How many chaps do you get in that one? 189 versus 75. Ooh, we could go for these beefy flipping set up. No, 75 is fine for all of us. Get citizens, pay ruble to invite immigrants. You randomly move from existing buildings. Yes, we'll take that instead. That way we'll get a bit of a mix in terms of their capabilities. I'll tell you what, the first lot, if I can slot you in right next door to the mine, I mean, you'll love it because you're right next door to the mine, and therefore, you'll have a level of job security that is pretty much unsurpassed. Yes, stick that in there. Yeah. Okay, right. And then we'll bang another one in as close to that as we can. Can't build because of infrastructure. Well, the infrastructure that you can't build because of, I want you to connect to. Oh, why, Mr. Anderson? Okay, there we go. Now let's do the same with this. Although that's not straight. Apparently, someone said if you rotate it 3 times, although this feels like I'm in the Wizard of Oz now. If you rotate it 3 times, you get more snapping angles to play with. Personally, I think that's a mythical suggestion. Look, it still doesn't fine-tune as much as I'd like. I am trying. The reason we zoomed in there is I'm trying all kinds of key combinations to see if I can adjust the granularity. The granularity is not interested in playing ball there, so we'll just go without. Right. Let's get these as close together as possible. Now, if these are 75 a throw, this one will take me up to 300 workers in the nearby area. Now, the capacity of that fella is 220, if my memory serves me correctly, and I'm pretty sure it does. And so you go, well, 300, that should sort you right out. You're going to go, yeah, but it doesn't. And the reason it doesn't is because there are 3 shifts during the day, so there are 3 8-hour shifts. And therefore, you need 3 times the number of workers in order to make sure that all those shifts are adequately staffed. Oh, dangerous behaviour. So, for those of you who can't be bothered to maths it, you need 660 people to fully staff a coal mine for the duration of the day, and that's what we're kind of hoping to do here. But then, of course, 660 pieces of residential space is not enough. No, you need more than that. Because, I would say because reasons, but it's not because reasons. It is, in fact, because you've got, people having to look after children, or they're still in school, or it's largely children. I'll put it that way. Also, I'm going to need some people who work in the shops, and all of that kind of business. There are numerous considerations as to why people wouldn't immediately leap at the opportunity to go work in the coal mine there. Do I want a bendy road on the end? No. Look, we've just discovered the ability to do things straight, and therefore that's what we'll try and accomplish. Sling that in there. Connect those up. See, look at this. Straight roads all over the joint. That's terrific. All right, get rid of that bit. Yeah, that's almost straight. Straight enough for communism. And bang another one out there. No, look, don't go mad. You've probably got enough in there to get going with. All right, okay. Well, okay. Pay the price. Yes, that's going to be a bit expensive. Also, that's only done that bit. What about this lot over here? Yo, what about this lot over here? Back it up. Turn that off. Oh no. No. I don't actually want to build that manually, because that won't be good. Hold on. There you go. Construction site with rubles, please. 6 grand. Okay. Well, it costs what it costs. There you go. Yeah. All of this. Yeah. Pay it. Get it built. Yeah. Okay, I can foresee already that the next episode is going to be titled 5 years later, when I've got some money back in the bank. But hey, we'll cover that when the time comes. What I desperately want to do is get to the point where all of this is built today, and we can turn it on. Yeah. Look, just I decided to build the first workers' palace there. Yeah, get it. Just knock them all out. You know what would be good here is some kind of rubber band tool where I could select everything. No such luck. And just get it built. Yeah, get it built. And you lot as well. Now, I know that the people here are going to be a little bit unhappy until I get them some food, so I don't want to completely cane my bank balance here, but it doesn't look like I'm going to. Yeah, this bit. Yeah, and that's good. I hope you like construction sound effects, because you're getting some. Right, yeah, and you. Come on. Uncle Stalin's waiting. Just FYI, there you are. He's expecting big things from us. Have I left enough room to get a bit of road in there? Well, the usual rule is no. And the usual rule is coming into play. Well, that just means that this particular building is going to be... Oh, no, hold on, we saw one. You all saw it, it went green. There you go. You can have a dirt track. I mean, look, you could complain about it, but that's still better than the alternative, which is that you die in the first fire that occurs because the fire engines can't get to you. Right. How many people we got in here? 38 already, and that's going to top up the coal pretty much now. Okay, you can't export coal, but the conveyor's hooked up. So is my coal input here? Is also that's also maxed out. Fabulous. Right. What's your output storage like? Well, it's 25. It's better than nothing. All right. Yeah, I saw it. For those of you who didn't see it, the power graph system set up there was doing the hokey cokey, which is something that has been happening for a little while, and we have yet to completely ascertain why it's occurring. Several of you suggested it's because individual substations can only hack a certain amount of a certain number of connected edifices, and that might be true. But we have yet to confirm that one way or another. There you go, get those right close to one another. We are still acquiring citizens from elsewhere, so that's all good. Let's rotate you. And get it on there. Now, I'm going to need a whole bunch of pathing doing later on, but the operative phrase there was later on. I just want enough of you clowns working in here for the moment so that we don't... Yeah, see, look, the voltage is erratic. A material transported per second is gravel. No, don't want gravel. You're not exporting nothing to nowhere. Interesting. Maybe I've miscalculated that. That wouldn't be the first time, would it? Oh no, we've got 1 ton of coal, look. Is that all you store? No, surely not. Surely you store more than that. Well, we won't know till we get a train in there. I mean, I could put a train in there now, which is an interesting idea. But no, hold on, no. You need a depot. You've got to drive the train from the depot. Okay, right, well, we'll leave that alone then. Right, so to finish off, what we'll do is we'll just stick in a little bit of keep the punters happy, which is going to be, that's education. I always see that as being housing, but it's not. It's education. We'll go grocery store, shopping centre, food, clothes, electronics, bit of everything. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll give them a shopping centre. Actually, no, we'll give them a shopping centre down here. That's going to make them well pleased, I reckon. What's that? How much? 104,000. Ooh, that's expensive. Yeah, you're going to do it anyway. Well, I haven't moved. What's the next option? A small shopping centre. There you go. That might be a little bit more price appropriate. Big shopping centre, though. That would get my people, quite a flutter. About here? Yeah, why not? About here? Yeah. Do it. And then we'll fling a, a pub over the other side of the road. No, we won't. We'll fling it next door. Oh, I'll make your mind up. And like that. Now, we're going to need schools. We're going to need some medical cover. We're going to need fire cover. You name it, we're going to need something like it. Stick a pub in there. That'll keep them chipper. And then they can have a small shopping centre as well. I have no idea if they're going to be in range of radio failure grade or not. But there you go. Right. I'm not wholly convinced that the small shopping centre took. The pub actually took. Did I collide or some such? There you go. Can't build due to infrastructure. I don't need you to build. Thank you, autosave. Just there. Look, do it. There you go. Right. That should do the trick for now. Obviously, there is a lot more to do on this, and I'll progress things just a smidge while you're away, and then when you're back, I'll go, look at the smidge that I have progressed things. And hopefully, it'll be at the same time that the the road here is finished being paid with dirty dollars. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching. This could be a really great move for our fortress republic. How many people we got working there now? Only 20. Yeah, that's a bit of a concern. My hope here had been that it was quite a lot more than 20 people would work there. What's our occupancy like? 40. We should be fine. I will figure out why we're not in the next episode. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on that, and I will catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio! So, as I've spelled out, I think, a couple of times, the aspiration here is to firstly export the processed coal to our neighbours in order to bring in a bit of extra rublage, and then later funnel the coal up into the main heart of our republic in order to be our main source of electricity powerage type behaviour, or in fact our main source of something. There is probably enough room at the top of this mountain to stick another coal mine on here as well, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Well, it's a good thing. In no way could it possibly be construed as a bad thing. Anyway, we can do that if the need arises. So there's going to be a fair amount of development on this kind of area of growth. I need to get schools up, as mentioned, hospitals, medical, flipping, fire coverage, all of that jazz, possibly up to and including a college of some kind. Oh, busy, 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 busy.